Hi, so welcome. As you might have noticed when you saw my thumbnail, it's in colour. That's just one thing that's different at the moment. So, new year, I thought I'm getting frustrated. Getting frustrated with my channel. Um, I do it on a constant basis, and it feels like I get to a certain point with subscribers, and then it hemorrhages, and I lose five, and again a few more. I'm always like on the 757 subscriber not 957 subscriber point. And I was just thinking about, am I happy with my format, how I'm doing my channel? If people are looking at it and then logging off, there must be something going on. I thought I'm not. I'm going to be brutally honest. I hate doing the weekly comic book reviews. Hate doing it. I'll give you the reason why. It's pressure. I enjoy reading comics. I love taking my time just absorbing the art and the story. When you decide to take on the mantle of doing a weekly comic review show, the pleasure goes out of it because, like, say for example, if I got a batch of 15 comics on, normally with me, it's not normally a Wednesday, so say if it's a Friday or Saturday, I'm then trying to cram as much reading time to get them through so I can review them. And it kills the love and the passion I've got for this art form. And so I've just been rushing through just to make sure I can get a show out to review all the comics that I've read. And it made me not enjoy it. And that's why recently I've not been like going to the comic shop every week, because it was like giving me a legitimate excuse not to do a weekly review show. And another thing that I don't like about the weekly review shows, they're not evergreens. They're not. It's not. You wouldn't go onto somebody's channel and think, "Oh, I'll just look at the comics that they reviewed 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 5 months ago," because there's not interest. Because those hot comics or those comics at the time have gone now. There's something new on the horizon. Like there was the Ultimates, and then there's the Absolutes, and so on and so on. So I thought it's pointless. And there's so many other channels who are doing a better job at doing weekly reviews than me, and they enjoy doing it. So more power to them. But for me, that's gone. It's stopped. I was going to slowly phase it up, but I've decided I'm just going to stop it. So there's not going to be any more weekly reviews. There will be still reviews, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it like a fistful of dynamite, where I do like 5 of the top comics I've read for the month. So I'll do it at the end of the month or the beginning of the following month, and it'll just be 5 titles. And I'll also do like features on new number ones and new comic lines, etc. that I pick up. So there still will be reviews. It will just be in a completely different format. So I actually posted a thing on Threads about this, about how I just feeling really dissatisfied. So I'm thinking of it like the next level with DC, how did the next level comics, or how did the new 52. That's what I'm doing. It's a hard relaunch of my channel. I've changed the title now. I hated it. Was an easy one to put, just put man as geek, but that doesn't tell you anything. Geek, calling yourself geek, relates to not just comics, but a whole plethora of different stuff. And so if somebody's looking through for comic channels, you wouldn't think, oh, I'll check that out because they're a geek, so they must like comics. No. So I've now changed it to comics and all that Zarjazz, and I'll come back to why I've called it that in a minute. But I'll just read through what I wrote on Threads about why I've decided to do this big, hard reboot of my channel, which, like I said, will be reflected in the thumbnails as well. I've now gone colour, extreme colour. I've found this editing app, so I've just been playing with doing things like that. But I'll just go through what I put on Threads. So I put my YouTube channel is static at the moment and definitely not gaining any traction. And I said I need to reassess what type of content I'm going to be doing going forward. I'll be phasing out my comics haul review episodes. Like I said, I've stopped that completely. What I will do, I'll do an addendum with that. I am still going to show the comics that I pick up, but that'll just be the shorts, like the minute long shorts. What I do, where I just show my stack. So you'll see what I get every week. I just won't be doing a review of everything. I'll just, like I said, do cherry pick my very favourite ones at the end of the month. So you'll still see what I get. Like I said, it just won't be any commentary on it. And I want to do more deep dives on themes and comic runs and characters. So my next big deep dive that I'm looking at doing will be all about old Vertigo, a particular genre of Vertigo, or how they introduce a particular theme, which I'll come to again later on, another topic that I want to bring into this. And this is why I called it comics and all that jazz. I want to do more 2000 AD content. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. So, yeah, so I've said that. And I said I want to lean, so ignore what I was just saying about 2000 AD. We'll come back to that. My screen just flicked. And I said I'm going to lean more into my personal strengths that other comics YouTube channels don't focus on. So let's show what they are. It's not bragging, oh, look at my strengths. It's just because these reflect on me personally as a particular type of person I am. So obviously, I'm LGBTQ, I'm a transgender person. I'm passionate about comics. So why not fucking celebrate the joy of diversity in comics much more? I'm gonna try and not get emotional about this, but when I first started my channel a few years ago, and I think I still am. I think I'm the only transgender woman who does a comics YouTube channel. And when I first started, I toned my topics down extreme. I didn't post any pictures for the thumbnails. There was no pictures of me on them. So it's like these images because even when I did all that, the amounts of flack I got in the first year, if I wasn't, if I was as wasn't as strong as I am personally because of the shit that I've had to go through in my life, it could have tipped me over the edge. It could have left me into severe depression. I had so much hate spewed my way just because I wasn't of some like somebody else's viewpoint. I wasn't how how they live their life. So what? Everybody's fucking different. So I muted down my being LGBTQ, my being trans on my channel. I hardly ever talked about that topic. I think there's only like 2 instances where I've actually broached that subject, where I reviewed a Salmon spin-off graphic novel where one of the characters was trans, and I talked about that, and also did a episode focusing on Pride for this year. But now I think, fuck that. I'm trans. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of who I am. I've made a fucking lot of sacrifices to get the happiness in my life. I've got a daughter who loves me. She knows all about it. So fuck you lot, who all the haters. Fuck the haters. That's all I'm going to say. And thank you for those who stood by me and followed me just for the content itself. You know, they're not bothered about what I am or who I am. They just want, they're there for the content. But so now moving forward, I'm going to do more. I want to do like a branch off of my channel where I do recommended of LGBTQ books or books written by people in the LGBTQ umbrella, so I can highlight them and recommend them to people to look at. And I'm going to look at some that might have gone under the radar years ago, like we're talking 30 years ago, just to highlight that we've always been around in comics. You've just not been aware of it. So that's going to be a new thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing one later on today to highlight a book, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous book, which doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter what sexuality you are, doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, and very sweet book. So I'll do a video of that later on. So I want to do more deep dives on themes and comic runs and characters. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on Vertigo. I think I mentioned that a few minutes ago. Again, that will link into my LGBTQ one as well, because Vertigo kind of broke the mold of what you could do with comics, as well as Milestone did. So I might tie the two together. And yeah, like I said, just on characters, comic runs, particular runs by creators that were like groundbreaking, things like that. I want to do more videos focused on highly recommended hidden gem books that deserve wider attention. I love doing things like that. That's when I can gush for like an hour talking about particular books, what might have not got much attention, not got much notice, or what I feel are deserved of a more wider audience. I enjoy that much more than just doing a weekly review of thing that really pisses me off. I know I'm beating this up, but the thing that pisses me off, me personally, for doing weekly comic reviews, it's a rut because I'm reviewing the same stuff over and over and over again. And with me, I don't hate read, so if I don't like something, I'll quietly just stop the comic. So it's like pointless. I was giving everything 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, because I was enjoying what I was reading, but it was the same titles all the time. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, but one thing I am going to bring back stronger now, and this is what why my channel is called, now that it's called Comics and All That Zarjazz. My one true comic, what I've followed since 1977, on and off, much more on than off, in different formats, digitally, collected edition, and the weekly comic, is 2000 AD. So I want to do more 2000 AD content, looking at the latest prog every week. I'm going to be doing an episode today where I've finished reading this. I'll do a review of not the latest, but the Big Bumper Special. There's another one that's just come out. It's 100 pages, so it took quite a while to read, but I'll give my thoughts on each of the stories in that. And also highlighting past gems, what people might have overlooked from 2000 AD, and new collections. I'm going to be doing a look at the latest Slain collection. I did like a quick little flick through on a short on YouTube, but I want to do a more in-depth looking at the art, because there's some groundbreaking early work from some big name artists who are big name now. So I'm looking forward to that. And as I said here, I am not sponsored at all by Fog. I get no freebies at all from 2000 AD. I requested if they wanted to review anything. They came back a lovely reply, but it was no go. So I don't care. I love the comic, and I'm going to sing the praises, because to me, still, it is the galaxy's greatest comic. Now, this one I'm looking forward to doing, because I love introducing people to new stuff. So I'm going to do a new section aimed at new readers, or people who maybe just buy Marvel or they just buy DC, etc. I'm going to do a new section. Not got an idea what the title's called yet for this area of the channel. What I'm going to do, but it's a new section. It's something like, if you like such and such, and then you might like blank. So it's aiming at new readers who want to know what other good titles are out there. So if they like, say for example, Moon Knight, what other comics from other companies would they enjoy, or if they like Hellboy, what other comics of a supernatural bent would they enjoy? One thing I'm going to do as well, I want to give more praise to different book formats. I enjoy graphic novel collections equally, if not more so, than the weekly comics. So I'm going to be doing an ongoing preview episode each month, looking at the DC Finest and Compact Comics lines. I'm going to call it DC Finest Compact Comics Preview Show, of course. So I'll be highlighting new upcoming releases in DC Comics Finest and Compact Comics editions, and I'll be highlighting ones that I really think more people should try and that they'll enjoy. Another thing I love is comics news, and I've done one or two, maybe for about three max, like newsy bulletin bits on my YouTube channel. But I want to do more, especially with the new stuff what's coming from DC. There's lots of exciting stuff coming from there. There's a few titles bubbling up from Marvel that I'm interested in, and there's other stuff coming from various other companies like Image, Dark Horse, Ignition, etc. So yeah, I'm going to do a few more newsy type items as well. And I did mention that I'm going to be doing like the best 5 comics of each month as well. So that is what's going to be happening with my channel. I've not had a drink all day. So I hope you stick around. I'm quite excited. I've not been this excited about my channel in a long time. I was up until about 3 or 4 o'clock this morning, just doing thumbnails for my channel, because, like I said, I've gone colour. I've gone Technicolor now. So instead of I just had no idea how to do them before, but I've just really like studying other people's channels. I like how a lot of YouTubers do it, but some of it is so cheesy as fuck. Yeah, I think that's just my British reticence and reserved nature. So I'm going to do it like tongue in cheek, but I want to do it a bit more stylish. It's not. I don't like that. Like, where they're like doing these crazy weird expressions on the face. It's like, oh, please, no. I'm 56. Come on. Oh shit, I've just revealed my age. But yeah, so okay. So yeah, this is my first new episode of hopefully the New Look channel. I hope you'll stick around. Um, like I said, it's going to be much more a much more honest channel. It's going to be much more focused on my true passions. It's going to be much more about my personality. I'm not going to try and conform to just be like your standard every other YouTube comics YouTuber, because I'm not. I'm fucking unique actually. And I want, it'd be nice if I could corner and market what's been overlooked. So it'd be nice to see some more LGBTQ subscribers, because I think we're not overlooked in the manga market, but I think we are overlooked in the comics market by mainstream comics YouTube. There's a lot of channels are very supportive, but there's not enough people who are under that umbrella who do channels about comics. I think Cliff on Comics, and there's a few others, but it's like a handful. It's a smattering. Like I said, I think I'm Leon Transman. So hey, you me? Do I get a plaque or something? But yeah, so I'm going to mix you up much more now. So I hope you stick with me, and I hope you like the new content. Okay, bye.